Welcome back, guys. This is episode 7 of my Etsy print-on-demand series for 2021, and today we're talking all about something that Etsy really did a great job with, and that is personalization. So the mechanism that they built to enable personalization from the seller perspective is really awesome. You can enable personalization in a few clicks. And as well as on the buyer side, it's very easy to use the personalization option. Sometimes it's required, sometimes it's optional. It all depends. I'm going to show you how to set it up on any or all of your listings. I'm going to show you how to accommodate personalized orders on the Printful side of things. But what's really cool is that while I'm showing you how to use Printful to fulfill your Etsy orders using print on demand and basically do it all automated so that you can scale, the personalization side of things, it's not fully automated. However, Printful built in a mechanism on their end to accommodate personalized orders. I think it was like December 2018, if I recall correctly. And they basically did it just for Etsy. So it's really cool. It makes it pretty seamless to fulfill these personalized orders. I'm going to show you everything you need to know. So let's get started. Real quick, I wanted to remind you to enter my weekly print-on-demand giveaway. It's completely free, and every Sunday, 2 lucky winners are selected. This week, sponsored by Flying Research, research tools for print-on-demand, AutomatePOD, design creation automation, all-American graphics, premium pre-made graphics for your designs, and finally, Bubble Scout, the only Redbubble niche research and validation tool. So you'll find a link in the description to enter. It only takes a minute. Also in the description, you can find a link to my 8-day print-on-demand mini course delivered via email and a link to my print-on-demand Facebook community if you guys would like to join. That would be awesome. This is episode 7 of my Etsy print-on-demand series. If you missed the previous videos, I do recommend watching them in order. I'll go ahead and I'll drop a link to episode 6 where I showed you how to get your first 5-star review right there in the YouTube cards. That one you do not want to miss. All right, and now we are on to part 7, all about personalization. So if you guys have ever shopped on Etsy, this probably looks familiar. You've probably seen this at least once, where you see the personalization option on the right-hand side of the listing screen underneath the title, the price, the color, the size, etc. Now, it's not always there. The seller has to enable it. And if you watched the previous videos in the series, you may recognize the design there. So that was actually the first product, the first shirt that sold on our brand new Etsy shop. And I got smart after that, and I was like, oh, we should enable personalization because people can add text above or below. So we went ahead and actually put that in the personalization message right here that you see. It says, I can add text to the design above or below or both. Just let me know what you'd like. And then Etsy automatically puts a 256 character limit. I guess my chair is blocking it behind me, but I'll show you how to do all of this. And just wanted to let you see what the finished product looks like though, right up front. So this is the back end Etsy listing edit screen, and I've highlighted the personalization section. So in order to get here, you can either go to your listings in your shop manager and then edit whichever one of them you want to enable personalization on, or you can just create a brand new Etsy listing. And before you publish it, you know how you have to go through and, you see the title, the images, the attributes, the tags, all those things. Well, there is hidden away a personalization section. Now, by default, it's not expanded. So what you'll need to do is you see the switch up there that says on in the screenshot. Find it, and then it'll say off. Go ahead and click it. It'll toggle to on, and you should see these two options. So on the left-hand side, you see the instructions that we can leave to the buyers. I do recommend, tailor your instructions to the specific design and or product that you're selling. I wouldn't just have a generic copy paste because, think about it. If you're selling let's say a coffee mug, and, in this case, I was selling a t-shirt. With a t-shirt, I have a lot more design area to work with, or at least I feel like I do. If I'm selling a coffee mug, you may want to be more restrictive of what you allow somebody to provide you. Very often you can find, I was just looking at one, it looks like I closed the tab on my side monitor here. I was looking at like unicorn shirts, and one of the best sellers was offering like personalized unicorn shirts, and they were all about birthday parties for young kids. And it was a lot, I looked at all the reviews, and it was like a lot of parents that were getting their kids' names, like mother of the birthday girl, and then the name of the kid. And so part of their personalization instructions were like, hey, do you want to let me know the name of the kid and your relationship to them? So you can do things like that. I think the less complicated you make it, the higher your success rate is going to be, and the less back and forth communication you're going to have with each buyer. But the reason also I mentioned, like if you're selling a coffee mug or something small, by default, when you enable personalization, do you see over there on the left-hand side, it says character limit and it's defaulted to 256. Imagine if somebody types a 256 character message and they expect that to show up in addition to whatever design you've got on a coffee mug. You may have a lot of trouble actually making that work in the end design. Plus, you don't want it to look crappy. Otherwise, they may return it or complain. So, I like to kind of be restrictive if I'm going to do something like open-ended, or ideally, it's typically something like, oh, what's your relationship to the person? Or, oh, what's their name, or something like that. Anyways, just giving you some examples here. There's no real right or wrong way to do this, but since it's open-ended, I do recommend being pretty specific. And then also, you see over here, over my shoulder, it updates in real time what the buyer will see on your listing. So you can basically preview it as you go. Now, here's another example. I believe I stole this from Printful, and you can see one of the Printful default designs just got some, simple stencil design of some mountains, and then above it says your name. Okay, and in their example, they say, add your personalization. What name do you want on this shirt? By the way, in Printful's example, if we go back to the screen, you notice how it says personalization is optional and it's got it checked. Well, on my design, personalization is optional. We don't need to add text. It's not a requirement. On Printful's design, it says your name. So they're making it required, just pointing out the difference there. So that is an option. And then what they do, and this is actually I found the email from when Printful initially announced this. You can see there's a sled on the logo because this was in it was either November, December, I think 2018, when they launched support, full support for product personalization for Etsy, which is awesome. Printful's engineers are great, and they're very agile and responsive to new things. So this is probably something that is useful for you to see when you get a personalization order from Etsy. You see a blue P on the order on your order dashboard in Printful. This is indicative of, what does P stand for? Yes, personalization. So you know how to identify these orders that you're going to need to have a little bit of manual intervention. Typically, everything on Printful is just turnkey, autopilot. You don't need to intervene. With the personalization stuff, you do. Printful should also recognize the personalization order, and when they email you that they see the order and that action is required from you, they will let you know. So you also don't need to go through your order dashboard. Well, okay, when you click the link in the email, it'll take you to the order dashboard. So technically you will see this. But then you just click the order, it pops up the screen. Go ahead, and when that thing pops up, click edit or change order. And then you should see this prompt right here. Now, typically you don't need to edit a design or edit a product. That's definitely not something that's typical. That's less than 1% of all orders I've ever fulfilled, probably a fraction of a percent. And what you're going to want to do is where it says front and it's got the design, click edit. Now from here, you have some options. Okay. I used to sell designs where every single order that came through, I would go into Photoshop on my computer. And by the way, when I was selling, in this scenario I'm describing, if I knew I was going to need to go to Photoshop, I would save the PSD template so that I could crank out the new personalized designs very quickly, very easily. You guys know I don't want to waste more time than is required to get things done because time is money. You already know that spiel. So you don't have to do that though. The reason that I would do it that way was if I had some font that wasn't built into Printful's text wizard, whatever you want to call this. It's in the design tab. So if you are going to use a font that Printful already supports, you don't need to do what I just described, where you go into Photoshop and create a brand new, flat image that you then upload for just this one personalized order. What you can actually do is go into Printful's edit prompt and then click the text tab, and you can use their text tool, just add a new text layer. They have a bunch of fonts that you can select from, various colors. You can change the text size. You can change the letter spacing. Pretty basic stuff, but very useful. And if it works here, this is the quickest, most efficient way of doing it, because then you don't have to launch Photoshop and all that. So I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware that this exists. All right, and that's all I wanted to cover in this video. So hopefully that was useful. If I missed anything related to personalization, let me know in the comments below. But I think personalization is a great way to stand out and set yourself apart from a lot of your competitors. Also, even if you don't enable it, sometimes buyers will just message you and say, hey, can you do this for me? At least in my experience, I had a lot of buyers reach out to me while I was on Etsy. All right, guys, make sure you're subscribed. In part 8, the next installment of the series, I'm going to show you how to do something that I still don't see a lot of shops doing. And I really think it is a great way of distinguishing yourself from your competition. I'm going to show you how to run a sale, and I'm going to give you some tricks. I'm not just going to say here, click here, click here, click here. I'm going to give you tricks to like do these, like implement these sales at scale, and how to do some other really cool tricks. I don't want to give away too much right now, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss part 8. I really appreciate you sticking with me till the end. Do me a quick favor if you haven't already, drop a like on the video. That really helps. And just a reminder, I did write a full print on demand course. One of the 10 modules covers Etsy. There's 9 other modules covering things like fully automated print on demand workflows, how to sell on Amazon, how to do niche research, how to do designing. It gives you access to my full Redbubble course, which is 35 lectures. So check that out if you're interested. There's a link in the description. Thanks for sticking with me. Make sure as you watch that you take action and try to implement the things that you're learning. And guys, I'll see you at part 8.